How's it going, everybody? Lewis here. First thing I want to do is say thanks for hanging out here on a Sunday evening, checking out this live stream we're going to do, and just wanted to start out also with a mic check, just making sure my microphone has a high enough volume. So if you're on the chat, I can see the chat. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Thanks. And we'll give it a few minutes as well. Let some more viewers go ahead and join live as well. And it looks like we have Casa Indie live with us here. Swoo Cube, how's it going? Jeeps, Joff, yep, okay. Lorcanitos, seems like the microphone is good. Thanks for the feedback, everybody. Um, Frosted Fire Mods is here with us. Thanks for joining. Alrighty. So, it is the day after the Starbucks first 10K tournament. I know I personally had a blast. Um, and seeing a bunch of new faces, put a lot of Discord names to the real identities. That was great to see. I've also seen a bunch of folks from the community that we see on a regular basis as well. So it was really it was a fun event. I believe we had a really great turnout for the first time. And as you can see here, my new favorite hat has been signed by I believe everybody or most everybody who attended the tournament. So this is a fantastic little keepsake that I got for this weekend. So yeah, we ended up with let's see 35 contestants. We went six main rounds and then cut to top eight. We were there, I think it's like 8 o'clock at night. We were doing draft afterwards. We were trading. We were opening standard set. We were speculating about the future, and it was a blast. So some of you here in the chat were in attendance. I'm sure you guys could say a few things about it. But I think overall, just from everyone who was there, I got great feedbacks from a lot of folks, and I think we should do it again. So. All right, so yeah, so the 10K was a blast, but tonight's live really is not going to be an overly long one, but it's basically going to be about the roadmap presentation that we had over the week, or basically yesterday, presenting the next sets for 2026 and a little bit beyond. So I'm gonna give it about another minute to see if we can get a few more folks coming in. Please share the stream with other TCG enthusiasts or other folks that like shard bugs. Let them know that we're gonna have a pretty wicked presentation here, and then we'll start this presentation shortly. So, all right, we got Jay Cyber here, Angelo Blanco. We have E Blanco. How's it going? All right, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to switch to a new screen. It's just going to have um, my presentation showing, and then we'll get started on the presentation here shortly. All right, we'll get started with the presentation. And here we go. Here's going to be the roadmap for Shardbug CCG 2026 and beyond. Okay, the first entry is going to be Shardbug's first bounty, the standard edition. Followed by Shardbug's infestation. So the first bounty, just go back one slide. Basically, it's just set 2 as you see it now. It's probably going to be a little bit cleaned up, reprinted, some different foiling, just like we did a standard edition for set 1. And if any erratas are needed, would be implemented there. So that's just going to come in January of 2026. But the much anticipated third core set is Infestation, and it's going to release Q1 of 2026. Now, what is Infestation? So, the flavor, the theme of the set is really just how the set name sounds. Think about big armies, big board states swarming the battlefield. That's what Infestation is about. So think epic battles. So Infestation, the Swarm awakens. What started as isolated incidents become a full-scale invasion. Cities fall as the shardbugs multiply exponentially. Evolving new abilities with each generation, humanity must adapt or perish. So here's some art for the set. It kind of helps give you the flavor of the set. This art piece here, Soldier Beetle Vanguard, was done by Ariel, aka Ray of Sands. Some of you may have met him if you attended the 10K yesterday. He was there selling some prints and some artist proof. So this really is a great piece that showcases Infestation in its basically it is amassing your battlefield, your board states, your bugs, swarming the battlefield to wage epic war against your opponent. Also, you will see in Infestation is the introduction of the larva type. So larvas are basically like your fresh recruits. They basically just finished field training, if you will, and they are eager to kind of join their brethren in the battlefield. They may be kind of weak, but what they lack in overall physical capabilities, they make up for it in sheer numbers. Here we have bolstered ranks, and again showcasing larvas. As you can see, they do look like they're eager to join the battlefield, wouldn't you say? Invasion forces. This is a great piece done by Zip Draw, and it really gives you the flavor of just kind of swarming and amassing strength in numbers and taking your horde to the battlefield. Now, with each set, we do have a comic book series. This is kind of a pain from the comics, the Zip Draw illustrated, and basically with Infestation, it's kind of like a flashback to the first time that the three alliances of Luna, Mars, and Sol actually wage war onto each other. And a little bit of Easter egg or sneak peek, um, I would say Mars was the instigator. So, yep, big bad Mars and their warmongering ways kind of waged war and started the battle. And here we have them advancing to that battlefield. Here's another great piece by Ray of Sands called Bullet Ant Mercenaries. I like this piece and I wanted to showcase it just because, like we said in the past, our bugs are inspired by real world species, and there is a ant called the bullet ant. So this illustration kind of like showcases that species, and it has a great little pun in its weapon because its warhammer is well, it's a bullet. So it's a fun flavor there. Now, after Q1 2026 was Infestation on our third core set, we bring you not only a new set, but we bring you the first of the three Earth-bound cosmic avatars. So, this avatar did not come from outer space. This avatar has always been on Earth, and it brings the fourth color, the color green. All right, so releasing in summer of 2026, we have Terraform. Terraform is a set that I know a lot of in the dev teams we've kind of been itching for, especially Greg Jeeps, our production manager. His favorite color is green, so this brings green to the color wheel. Terraform. The planet transforms. Massive terraforming machines clash with organic shard bug hives as both sides fight to reshape the world in their image. Reality itself bends under the pressure of competing evolutionary forces. And here is the fourth avatar reveal. This is Terra of the Terran Alliance. So I'll give you guys a second there to admire that new avatar. I know I heard over the weekend at the 10K, a lot of people were just die-hard fanatics of their alliances. There was people saying, Luna is the way. A lot of people were saying, Sol will save you. A lot of people saying Mars Might is the way. I wonder after Terra comes out, how many deserters and folks will come to the light of Force and Mother Nature. All right, so Antonio comes back in this set, and Antonio was released and debuted in the beginning, the first set. So way back when, from the early inceptions of the game, we knew we were going to have more alliances, more colors. So we kind of sprinkled some in as the Easter eggs. And Antonio, although came in as unaligned on set one, actually is has his roots in Terra. He is a really formerly a Terra bug, and in this set, you will see him be part of that alliance. Leaf bug druids and druids in general. So in the Terra lines, most of the bugs are going to be of the druid subtype. They're basically one with nature. They work with nature, harness nature's power in order to protect themselves, camouflage themselves, and defend themselves against the three cosmic alliances that have come from outer space. So with summer of 2026 comes the fourth alliance. After that, we're going to have Shardbug's first mini set. All right, releasing around October of 2026, we have Night of the Living Swarm. So this set is gonna be a blast. I know this whole theme has been one of the most requested theme from the Hive Army, and it's basically the concept of cordyceps, which are a fungus that is in nature, and they basically infest bugs. They become parasites, and basically zombify them, make them do their will and their bidding. So it's going to be a fun set. Darkness Falls Eternal. A necromantic plague spreads through the swarm, creating undead shard bugs that serve neither living nor machine. The night brings horrors beyond comprehension as the boundaries between life and death blur. The Infected Zone. And debuting one of probably the coolest things to come to shard bugs will be cordyceps, basically fungus, parasitic, bugs. Here we have engineer ant fungus. He is an ant, but he's kind of hard to distinguish between the fungus parasite that is taking control of him. So this will be a mini set, probably about 50 plus or minus cards, and there'll be some cards that you can kind of still slot in your deck, or there might be some cards here that you might want to make a whole like archetype around and play around with the whole cordyceps um, mechanics that you will see here. Then, towards the end of 2026, we're going to introduce the second Earthbound avatar in the color orange for my orange lovers out there. So, Ancient Sands. This is going to be a fun set. Ancient Sands, just like it sounds, is going to be kind of set in the Earth desert biome area. Oh, we got our text here buried. My apologies here. But in this set, we are going to release and actually introduce Seth of the Harena Alliance. So Harena is the old Latin root word for sand. And Seth here is kind of like a elementalist djinn. And his weapon, if you can kind of see on his waistband there, is a kind of a very magical hourglass. And so, how will orange, add to the dynamic, and what will orange do? Well, the hint is in his weapon. So, what do hourglasses do? And that's as much as, that's as much beans I can spill right now. Fantastic art here by Zip. Scorpion by Cunado Castillo. So, with Harena, we're going to really play with and introduce lots of arachnids in this set. So we see lots of spiders and scorpions in the desert. Here's one example. Looks real fantastic. It has that whole mummy-esque vibe from Egyptian times. So really cool. Here we have Spider Mummy by Alma Fostica, another arachnid. And you can see in the background, there's more eight-legged creatures out there. So after Ancient Sand releases in Q4 of 2026, that's going to round up our releases for the year 2026. But we wanted to kind of stretch out a little further and see what that sixth and final Cosmic Alliance will be. This is the third Earthbound Cosmic Alliance in the color of blue. And Frostbite. Frostbite will be released in Q1 of 2027, and with this release, we will finally have all 6 alliances and all 6 colors of the color wheel, if you will, for the game will be fleshed out. And in this set, we'll introduce the final freeze and ice age descends upon the planet as the war reaches its climax. Both sides must evolve to survive the cold, leading to the emergence of crystalline ice bugs with powers that could end the conflict or the world. And here we're going to have Scotty of the Glacius Alliance. So Scotty is the cosmic avatar. She is basically like an homage, a goddess or deity of the Nordic peoples of Earth, and Glacius is the name of the sixth and final alliance. Pretty cool illustration. This is also done by Zip Draw. You'll see bugs like Valkyrie Moth. This one was done by Alma Fostica. Fantastic illustration. I'll keep it up here for a second just to see if any of you can kind of catch the reference shown here. How many Avatar fans do we have? Avatar the Airbender. We have Spider Yeti. This is funny. I mean, he's got like, you know, these mittens to keep him warm. He's got the snow cone stuck in his fur and the lollipop. Yeah, pretty funny illustration here. And we will have the return of Blue Eyes White Dragonfly. So he debuted in First Bounty, came in as a Dragonfly commander, um, and came in unaligned. But Blue Eyes White Dragonfly actually has his roots and is part of the Glacius Alliance. This is a fantastic illustration by Cunduel Castillo. And here we are showing you First Bounty Standard through the next 5 expansions for Shard Bugs. We have a lot in the pipeline. We're gonna have I think it's gonna be a steady pace, a pace that will keep the meta fresh for the players, but it's also not going to be oversaturated. Oversaturated every year. Basically next year after the reprinting of the First Bounty, we have 3 core sets and we have a mini set, and then we'll probably continue that pace onward into 2027. But yeah, we just really wanted to kind of introduce the next sets and the next colors and the color wheel. And fun fact, they're basically the 3 primary colors and the 3 secondary colors, which is really great. Shows balance right there. And let me know in the comments what set you're most excited about, and after seeing all of the alliance avatars, which avatar or which alliance do you think you're ultimately going to be most aligned with? I'd like to kind of hear some feedback in the comments. And that was basically the presentation we had at the 10K. Lots of applause, lots of great feedback. A lot of people were like, "Oh man, like this new alliance seems great." I don't know. There might be some deserters out there, so it was fun. It was a fantastic weekend here. I think the future for Shard Bugs is great. There's going to be a lot of world building, a lot of things that we can really explore in the world of Shard Bugs. That's all I have for you guys for today. Thanks for swinging by. Again, I'm going to be reading the comments. I'm going to see, how many deserters we have, and what might be your guys' new favorite alliance or favorite avatar. With that, have a great evening, and thanks for swinging by.